It is finally done. All of the trees in the backyard have come down and I am so excited. We have 3 really big projects for the backyard. The trees were one, the pool is one, and some kind of a shed type facility is one. So when I step out away from the house and over here to the right, it was covered in trees. And now it feels a little bit like stepping out of the shower in front of a live studio audience. I feel totally exposed, which I'm not thrilled about. I suspect our neighbors really don't like it, but it won't be that way forever. All of this area that back here was grass. Well, not all of it, but a lot of it was. And the grass has all been driven over, especially back here. That grass, you'll see in a minute, all of that grass has been trampled by bobcats. All of this was covered in leaves and vines and things. That's all gone. I'm just walking down to the water, kind of. So that was a huge pine tree. When it fell, it took out a big part. I'm spinning around a lot, sorry. A big part of this maple right here. Those 2 stumps right there those were not supposed to be there. Those were supposed to continue being a tree. Oh goodness. And then down here in the corner, I can see from the house, sorry, moving over here, get on sort of the path that the bobcat was on. So that's the neighbor's house. There's our house, and those windows, kind of rectangular windows, is our TV room underneath where that little bitty window is. And that's where we spend our time, and our view is out towards the lake. And before we could see nothing, but now I can see all of this pretty beautiful lake. Sometimes it's like a glass mirror and beautiful reflections, and then other times it gives movement to the yard because there's like a soft breeze and kind of a ripple in the water. And then when the sun's just right, that ripple with the sun shining, it's like glitter. I love it. I love shiny, glittery things, and I'm super excited to be able to see all of this now. I mean, why pay for it if you're not going to be able to see it? I think there's probably a few more trees that we will be taking down. They're smaller, and I think perhaps it's in the way of some of our other views. And even though I cut down trees, I'm going to plant 1 or 2 that aren't native to here. Everything we took out is just native growth. We had in addition to that maple tree that kind of got taken out, we had a fence casualty. So I might need to order a pole or 2. Definitely need to get the top pole. You can see that is just not salvageable. And then the fence over here may or may not need chain link. I don't know. And I'm gonna quickly come outside the gate. Bing. Okay, so little birdie. So as far as wildlife goes, we did have a little bit of an issue, unfortunately. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great. So I am by the water, and this pine tree behind me, I think he said it was like 120, 130 feet tall. I think he said 128. I don't know how he knows it's 128, but it was a tall tree. And so we removed this chain link fence and it fell back into the yard. And then there was this really loud animal making noise, and I thought it was maybe it sounded like a squirrel in a tree next like over in the neighbor's property, fussing about that tree coming down. As it turned out, there was a little baby in the nest in that tree that came down with that tree and was crying for its mama, but it was not hurt at all. The mama was not coming back to it, and you're not going to be able to get the baby back up into the tree. It wasn't old enough. So one of the tree guys took it, and he's nursing it, I don't know, back up, making it, helping it grow. What am I trying to say? Oy. Anyhow, the squirrel will be okay, so that's the good thing. And if I'm clever enough to figure it out, I took a picture. I'll try to throw it in the video. I don't know if I'm that clever though, honestly. My dogs are in the window barking at me. And then I see some cleanup we need to do. Well, we have a lot of cleanup we need to do with some branches that need to come down that kind of got snagged as bigger trees fell. Over here we have another kind of collateral damage of falling trees. The fence got busted from a big oak tree that came down, and this got damaged from a really dead sweet gum, which really didn't have branches for him to rope onto. So when it fell, it got the dock. The dock is in need of replacement, I think. It's a little bit wood rot. In fact, back over under that bench, one of the people here at the house, his foot went through it. And then our swing hammock, the hangers for that, one of those took a hit by that sweet gum tree too, and those trees are so heavy. All right, not much more to show down here. Here's the other side, and a bunch of those big trees were taken out. I kept the oak tree that was, so I had 3 oak trees, one, then the stump, and then that was 2, and that's 3 up here. And we took out the middle one because it was losing branches. It didn't look so great, but I kept those big logs. I think I'll use them for some kind of fun thing. Right now they are heavy as all get out. Couldn't even move it with the lawnmower, but I think there'll probably be some kind of cool something I can do with it. The internet has all kinds of pictures of crazy things people do. I'll be one of those crazy people, I guess. Who knows? Maybe a bench. Maybe firewood because I'm not clever. I don't know. Okay. One more little piece of wood. It was down at the bottom of the trunk, and I just liked the shape of it, so I snagged it before it got thrown in the pile to head off to the junkyard. So, what relief. Those trees are gone. I can work down here without worrying about things falling on my head. Got lots of space. We took down trees on the side with the fire pit. There's a fire pit up there. So there were some trees down here. There were 3 big pine trees that were along this fence. We were going to take down 4. We only took down 3. It was a lot of work because he had to climb up and limb things and piece it down because we were trying to save some trees. But we did take a few out. So what was not a huge wide open space now is a huge wide open space. And I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm going to do with these huge wide open spaces, which is fun, and it makes me a little anxious or nervous, even though I'm happy to do it, but I don't want to do it wrong or make it look stupid. So so much to happen. But those aren't the big projects like removing trees. All right. I got lots of burn piles starting up with the leaves. A lot of the leaves I'm just going to let them do their own thing on the forest floor. It's not a forest anymore. And then I've got some piles that I've raked up, like these back here, full of tire mulch. Yay. Can't burn that. It's terrible. It's hazardous. Okay. So, coming back out of the woods, there is a really big dirt path. All of that was grass. Every bit of it was grass. And I understand that for these things to happen, messes are going to happen. And I'm okay with that. I'm not going to even bother trying to reseed this. It is hard, super hard, and I'm not going to mess with it until we're done bringing big vehicles in here. We got a little bit close, got a little close to the pond. It was never driven on, but the weight of the bobcat with all the logs pushed the dirt, and so my kidney bean shaped pond, I just said pod. The pond is now sort of mushed in on one side because of the weight shoved the earth into it and made a mess. Let's see. Over in this area, this was where I was killing off the grass and some of the little itty bitty saplings and weeds and all those things, because I was going to put some of that plastic edging here and plant the ajuga that I have underneath this elephant ear. But I have since learned with this tree cutting that that's probably not going to work. Maybe I'll be able to keep the ajuga alive, maybe I won't, I don't know. Maybe I can pot it somewhere else. But those heavy equipment vehicles, I'll show you, they just move too much of the earth underneath it. And so I thought that I was good to get all of these beds all nice and pretty, but alas, let's see, this was all kind of even surface, and it is like easily a foot, maybe a foot and a half, I don't know. It's quite a bit out from the plastic edging, and now it just all looks like a mess again. All that effort, it looks like maybe I needed to just wait, but I'm too anxious. I want to get out here, I want to get my hands in the dirt, I want to make stuff turn from blah to pretty, and so I thought that's what I did, but it just kind of got goofed up. Sorry, learning how to use a gimbal. All right, totally different views. Everything looks awesome. I have a front yard that kind of got a little torn up. Also, that part I am going to try to throw some grass seed in, get in there with a shovel, pitchfork, something, so that all that compaction from the bobcat and the logs, I can loosen that up, because right now I have big ruts in the front yard and I don't want the homeowners association getting upset with me over that. It is kind of ugly. And looking around the yard, I have a whole lot more to do, possibly working on these really scraggly, mangy hedges so that we can soon get Christmas lights on them. I'm looking at the squirrels chasing each other up this tree. Let's see if I can get them on there. Perhaps not. Where'd you guys go? I don't know. Okay. One final view, and that is going back this direction. All of this area up above my head, from that tree all the way over, was covered with great big trees, and now it's not. And I am excited about all these things that will be coming. So thank you for watching all my videos on trees. I recorded a lot of them falling. I thought I was going to record every one, but there was just too many to keep up with. And I was knee deep in helping in terms of throwing branches and lugging and moving and raking, and I couldn't handle not being involved in it. So stopping to record every tree falling just wasn't going to happen. But I think I got a lot, probably more than what you even really care to see. And it was fun. It was definitely a full week. We had the remnants of Hurricane Zelda, I don't know, whatever the name was. Kind of put a stop to everything, but we picked it all back up and now it is done. I hope you guys take care. Getting ready for Thanksgiving soon. Thank you for watching the videos. Adios. One extra nice thing about the trees being thinned out is I can actually sit on the swing and see the beautifulness of the trees, like this big oak that you really couldn't see so well. It was covered in trees all around it, and I can see the pretty leaves fall from up high down to the ground and touch gently on the water. Oh, I just love it. Baby squirrel, A-OK.